All right, let's talk about one of the most powerful and, let's be honest, sometimes frustrating parts of Dynamics 365, planned purchase orders. We're going to crack the code on these today. Our goal is super simple, turning that confusion into clarity. So let's just dive right in. Sound familiar? You run master planning, you're expecting this nice, clean list of suggestions, but what you get back just feels like a total mystery. You know you need to order something, but the system just doesn't seem to agree. It's a really common frustration, so trust me, you are not alone. But what if you had a roadmap? That's what we're doing today. We are pulling back the curtain. We're going to walk through the most common reasons your PPOs go sideways, pinpoint the exact cause for each one, and give you the step-by-step solution to get everything back on track. Okay, we're going to start with the most basic problems of all, orders that just don't show up when they're supposed to, and on the flip side, orders that appear out of nowhere. Think of them as the ghosts in the machine. First up, the big one. You run master planning. The whole thing finishes. But for that one specific item you're watching, crickets. Nothing. No planned purchase order. It's like the system just completely ignored your demand. So what's the deal? It's funny, because 9 times out of 10, the root cause here is just a simple setup issue. See, the system can't plan for something if you haven't told it the rules. The number one culprit is a missing item coverage group. Without that, D365 is basically flying blind. Or it could be as simple as someone taking the stopped flag on the item. The big takeaway? Always check these basic settings first. All right, let's flip the script and look at the complete opposite problem. Instead of no PPOs, you're seeing double, maybe even triple. You've got one sales order, but the system is telling you to place 2 or 3 purchase orders to cover it. This just creates a ton of noise and confusion for your purchasing team. What we see here a lot of the time is different planning layers clashing with each other. For example, are you looking at your static plan, that's your long-term forecast, and your dynamic plan, your day-to-day stuff, at the same time? That is a classic recipe for duplicates. Another common trap is forgetting to delete old manual PPOs before you run master planning again. The solution is simple, but it's so important. Keep your planning workspace clean. Now let's get into a whole different kind of problem. In this section, the system is creating the orders, which is great, but the details inside them, like the vendor, the quantity, or the delivery date, are just plain wrong. Oh, this one is a real headache for any purchasing department. A planned order pops up, but it's assigned to the wrong supplier, or even worse, no supplier at all. And that means every single one of those PPOs has to be manually fixed before it can become a real purchase order. The thing is, the system can't read your mind. It relies completely on your approved vendor list. If you haven't told it who the main supplier is, it has to guess. The fix is to go to that item's approved vendors and set your preferred supplier to priority 1. That gives the planning engine a crystal clear instruction. And hey, here's a pro tip. Always double check your trade agreement dates. An expired agreement is a super sneaky reason the system might skip over the right vendor. Next up, quantity mismatches. You have a demand for, say, 17 pieces, but the system spits out a PPO for 100. Or you need 50 and it creates an order for 48. These incorrect quantities can either bloat your inventory or cause some really critical shortages. So the secret here is to really understand your coverage code. If your item is set to min-max, the system's only goal is to order up to that maximum level, no matter what the specific demand is. If you need it to match the demand exactly, you have to use the requirement coverage code. And also, take a peek at your order multiples. If you have a multiple of 12 set on an item, the system will always round up to the nearest dozen, which can explain why your quantities seem just a little bit off. This is a huge one. The PPO gets generated, but the delivery date is in the past, or it's way too far in the future. This makes your whole plan feel unreliable and can wreak havoc on your production schedules and, of course, your customer commitments. The logic here is really all about time. The system calculates backwards from the date you need something. If you haven't defined a purchase lead time, it just assumes it's 0 days. And boom, you get a delivery date that's already passed. And what about weekends or holidays? Well, if you haven't assigned a working calendar to your vendor or your warehouse, D365 assumes they work 24/7. Setting accurate lead times and working day calendars is absolutely non-negotiable if you want realistic dates. Okay, let's level up. In our final section, we're going to tackle some of the more advanced issues, the really tricky stuff related to system behavior, fine-tuning your plan, and the automation that's supposed to save you time. This is what planners call churn or nervousness. Every single time you run master planning, the system seems to lose its mind, canceling today's orders just to recreate them for tomorrow, then changing them back on the next run. It makes the plan totally unstable and impossible to trust.
The solution here is to give the system a little bit of breathing room by tuning 3 key settings. First, increasing negative days tells the system, hey, it's okay to use supply that's a few days late. Second, increasing positive days tells it to use inventory you already have before creating new orders. And finally, the freeze time fence is like a shield. It tells the system, do not touch any orders inside this window. Together, these 3 create the stability every planner dreams of.
So you've done everything right. The PPO looks absolutely perfect. You get ready, you click firm, and error message. The system just won't let you convert that plan into a real purchase order. So what's blocking you? Think of firming as one final validation check. The system is scanning for all the mandatory info it needs to create a legally binding purchase order. The most common things that'll stop you are a missing vendor, an item that's been blocked for purchasing, or maybe a missing currency on the vendor's account. You have to fix these data gaps before the system will give you the green light. Now, this is a modern problem. You've made the switch from the classic MRP engine to the new, super fast planning optimization service, but the results look different. Your PPOs don't quite match up with the old way, and you're starting to wonder if something's broken.
And here is the single most important thing to understand about this. Planning optimization isn't just a faster engine, it's a different engine. It uses totally new logic for things like rounding and batching. So it's not broken, it's actually behaving exactly as it was designed to. The best advice I can give you is to use Microsoft's Planning Optimization Fit Analysis tool. It will tell you exactly what's going to change, so you can prepare your team before you make the switch.
We have covered a lot of specific issues and fixes. But what if I told you there was one single screen in D365 that could help you diagnose almost any of these problems? A master key that could finally unlock that black box. This is it. The Net Requirements Inquiry screen is your absolute best friend for troubleshooting. Forget all the guesswork. This screen shows you the math. For any item, it lists out every single piece of demand, every piece of supply, and shows you exactly how the planning engine calculated that final planned order. It's the why behind every single decision the system makes. So you see, that black box isn't so black after all. It's just a machine running on pure logic, and now you have the keys to understand that logic. The next time a PPO looks a little weird, you'll know exactly where to start digging. The only real question left is, which mystery are you going to solve first?